Hello all, welcome to the C programming language lecture in defining constants and unformatted input-output functions. In C programming, a constant is a value that cannot be altered during program execution, and constants provide a way to define and use fixed values in our programs. There are two different ways in C where you can define constants. The first method is we can use a hash define preprocessor. And the second method is we can use the keyword const, C-O-N-S-T. Let us dive into the first method, that is how we can define a constant using hash define preprocessor. So the syntax to define a preprocessor through hash define is hash define identifier value. So let us now see one example where we are going to find the area in which we can define the length as a constant and then the width as a constant. So here we are going to define both the length and the width as constants using the hash define preprocessor. So if you see in this particular example, we have defined in the second statement hash define length 10 and hash define width 5, and we have also defined new line as /n. So these three are going to be constants throughout the execution of the program. And hence, we declare all these three identifiers with the help of hash define preprocessor. So as we are going to calculate the area of rectangle, now we have to declare the variable area, and we have the formula to find out the area, that is length into width, and then you print the value of the area. So the length will be taken as 10 and the width will be taken as 5. So in this case, output will be 50. After the code is being compiled and executed, we can get the value of the area as 50. So that's one way in which we can define constants. And the second way in which we can define constant is to use a prefix, that is a const keyword. And so the syntax to define it is const. You have to have the data type and then the identifier and then the value which the identifier actually takes. And that is not going to change throughout the execution of the program. So for an example, we can see const int, the data type, and then the length as identifier, and we give the length as 5. And if I wanted to also declare the pi value, which is a constant always, then I can have it as const float pi equal to 3.14. To see with an example and to find out the area, we can actually area of the rectangle. Then I can, in the last example, we have seen that we can use hash define preprocessor. In this particular example, we are going to find out the same area, but in a different way, that is by using the const keyword inside the main method. So length is 10, that is declared as const, and then the width is again 5, which is actually declared with the keyword const. Now we're going to find out the area, which is length into width, and after you compile and execute it, we get the output as 50 because the length is 10 and the width is 5. So that's about the two different ways in which we can actually declare the constants and how it is being used in the program and how we get the output of the program is what we have seen so far. So the next concept that which we are going to see is unformatted input-output functions. So there are few input-output functions which we are going to use, say for example, getChar function and putChar function. So this particular function, getChar function, it reads Next available, it reads a character from the string and returns it as an integer. So at one particular time, it can read only one single character at a time. So you wanted to read more than one characters, and we can actually put it in a loop and then read it. So that is for getting the a single character from the user. Next one is you wanted to pass the character onto the screen. Then you can use the function putChar. So this particular function again puts only single character at a time onto the screen. And if you want more than one character to be printed onto the screen, then we can actually use a loop. So here we are going to see one particular example using the getChar and putChar function. So in this particular example, we are going to enter a value. So the user will enter a value. So we have a printf statement which tells the user to enter a value, and we have a variable c which is used to get the character, and then you are going to put it onto the screen using the putChar function, putChar of c. And so whatever the character that the user has actually entered, that will be seen on the screen using the putChar function. Next is getCH and putCH. So this getCH and putCH is also used to input and output a single character. GetCHE echoes the input character, but say getCH doesn't echo the input character. So that's the difference between getCHE and getCH. So getCH returns a single character from the keyboard and displays an entered character without using enter key. It is not buffered, but getCHE reads a single character from the keyboard and displays immediately onto the output screen without waiting for any key from the user. So these are the different functions which are used in C programming for the unformatted input and output functions. Thank you.